This is TechCrunch.
Senator Ted Cruz, a Republican from Texas, has blocked an effort to pass legislation that would have extended data privacy protections for federal lawmakers and public officials to everyone in the United States. On Monday night, Senator Ron Wyden, an Oregon Democrat, asked the U.S. Senate for unanimous consent from fellow senators to pass his legislation, Protecting Americans from Doxing and Political Violence Act. Wyden's bill would have taken bipartisan passed provisions designed to protect government officials, lawmakers, and their families from having their personal information sold or traded by data brokers, and extend them to every American in person living in the United States. On the Senate floor, Wyden said, "Members of Congress should not receive special treatment. Our constituents deserve protection from violence, stalking, and other criminal threats. Protecting everyone is the most effective way to protect U.S. military and intelligence personnel, including undercover officers." Cruz was the sole objecting senator who claimed without evidence that Wyden's bill could disrupt law enforcement, such as knowing where sexual predators are living. Data brokers are part of a worldwide multi-billion-dollar industry of companies that profit from hoarding and selling access to huge amounts of Americans' personal, financial, and granular location information, often collected from phones and other devices connected to the internet. This data gets sold, including to governments, which don't need a warrant for commercially obtainable data. The collection of huge banks of data also comes with its own risks, including security lapses and data breaches. Information bought by data brokers has been used to dox people, and in recent cases is linked to the shooting of 2 Minnesota state lawmakers, one of whom died. The killer allegedly obtained their home addresses from data brokers. Cruz also objected to a second piece of legislation that Wyden introduced soon after, which would have extended the protections for federal officials and lawmakers to state officials and their staff, as well as survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault. In response, Cruz said that he was interested in expanding the protection to as wide a universe as is feasible, as is practicable, but that answer is not yet worked out. Fubo, the popular live sports TV streaming service, announced on Tuesday that its shareholders have approved its transaction with Disney, combining Fubo with Hulu Live TV. Initially announced in January, the deal brings the companies closer to finalizing an agreement that is anticipated to disrupt the streaming industry by making Hulu a far bigger threat to its larger rival, YouTube. YouTube TV reportedly now has around 10 million subscribers, in large part due to its live sports-related content. Hulu Live TV and Fubo together have about 6 million subscribers, so this merger is a step toward closing that competitive gap. Additionally, if executed well, it could offer sports fans more flexible options. For instance, sources suggest that Fubo may be exploring the idea of introducing a new Hulu-branded package as a perk for streamers, featuring access to Disney's trio of streaming services at no additional cost. The company recently announced the launch of a skinny sports-only package at a lower price point. However, the approval obtained at the Fubo shareholder meeting on Tuesday still awaits regulatory approvals, as the deal will create a larger entity and impact market competition, reducing the number of independent streaming players. Once the transaction is finalized, Disney will own approximately 70% of Fubo. However, possibly with those regulatory approvals in mind, Fubo promises it will continue to be available to viewers as an independent offering. That said, Disney is consolidating this unit under a single leader, David Gandler, co-founder and CEO of Fubo, who will oversee the newly merged Fubo and Hulu Live TV operations. That's it from TechCrunch. For more tech stories like these, go to TechCrunch.com.